Hey y'all, happy Saturday. I hope that everybody is doing well today. We are going to talk about what is going on. I keep talking to you guys about, people not being able to afford basic everyday necessities, food, water, rent. So let's get right into it.
Why do I live in my car full time? Well, because rent is $1,800 per month for a one-bedroom apartment. I work full time and I can't afford that, so I live here in my car.
I've been living in my car since May 13th, about 2 months and some change. Let's talk about it. So I bought this car knowing that I was probably going to have to make a tough decision. I do freelance work and video, and a lot of the money will come in late, as any freelance knows. And sure enough, it came in late, and just hated being late on my rent and having to tell my roommate, who was also a friend of mine, not close friend, but a friend of mine, that I was going to be late and trying to figure it out. So I got this car for a gig because I needed it for the gig, and I knew that I was possibly going to be living in it. So I have a 2013 Chevy Volt. It's basically an EV first, and then it's a hybrid, so I get like 30 miles, which is extremely useful because when I turn my car on, I don't have the actual car on, it's just the battery on. So it's perfect, but I still have gas if I want to use gas and go further, things like that. So where I stay most of the time, I was working for Amazon, and honestly, the parking lots, because they have shifts almost around the clock, you pretty much can stay here if you can find like a pretty secure little chill spot. So that's where I've been, just in between two vans in a parking spot, either between there or there's a beach location that I'll go into, and they have the EV charger there too. The thing about the Amazon, they actually have free chargers here. I don't know if it was their plan or whatever the case is, but I'm gonna take advantage while I can. So like right now, I'm sitting at the charger. I've got my sunshade on. I'm sitting at a charger. Amazon, the people are all gone. I have a sunshade, and I'm charging my car for free, and I'm on Instacart, so that way if a ride comes in, I can take the ride, and I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for gas, things like that.
I cannot believe that we are in the year 2025 and there are so many homeless people. Now, by the grace of God, some people do have vehicles and don't have to live on the streets, but at the end of the day, they are still what we consider homeless. They do not have a physical address, a physical residence that they sleep and lay their head in every night. As you just heard, the gentleman just says that he works a full-time job, but he still cannot afford $1,800 a month. And that is such a huge payment, especially, if there happens to be somebody that's trying to make that payment by themselves. You're just paying $1,800 a month for your dwelling, not considering any utilities, food, health insurance costs, or any other bills that you may have. What is going on right now? People are being priced out of every single thing, and I don't see anything getting better. So we need to find some kind of solution. Again, I keep on saying we need affordable housing. This homeless crisis is affecting people across the United States. My husband actually told me that he is a truck driver. If you guys don't know, I've said that before. So there are lots of places that he stops at, and there is this one place in particular that he frequents. It is a gas station, and there is a group of cars that's always there. He says they're parked in a certain area. This is like a major chain gas station. They're parked in a certain area. And he says every once in a while you'll see like a new car, but these people are homeless. And I'm like, well, how do you know they're homeless? Maybe they're like chilling or something. He was like, no, they're homeless. Sometimes they'll have like the little things that go all the way around their cars blocking the window, or sometimes you'll see them like recline back in their seat. Sometimes they're awake, sometimes they're not. I think it's safe to assume that they are sleeping there because they are a 24-hour gas station. So they have that surveillance. They have people that are coming and going all times of nights, and these are gas stations that a lot of officers frequent as well. So I think it's a sense of safety for a lot of people. I think Walmart was a place where a lot of people used to like I know when it wasn't before, like the homelessness became like a thing, and like everybody is forced into this. People would sleep in their cars in Walmart, but I think that's kind of changed once Walmart became no longer a 24-hour business, for safety reasons. So I think a lot of people are going to truck stops and gas stations and things like this, and we will be seeing this more often. Something that I've also seen in my area, because I think people have like a mental image of their head of what a homeless person looks like, and I think a lot of people think it's a person pushing a buggy with clothes and everything, all their belongings in one place, and that's not it. Again, we have people living in cars. We have people that are living on the streets, you know, in the woods as well. But we also have people living in hotels. We have families that are living in hotels because they are, you know, homeless at the time, and they're being put up by agencies. And there's no telling how long the agencies are able to afford that. I think it's just for a little bit, but I don't know like what kind of work considerations go into that and what the family has to do to ensure that those funds, you know, come, and again, the longevity of those funds. But I have seen in my area where a school bus has stopped in front of a hotel on a busy a busy road, and they have let 2 to 3 kids off at this hotel, and of course the parent is on the side of the road. So again, this is affecting many people for many different reasons, and I will always say you don't know what can place you in these situations. You don't know the reason that these people are homeless. It's not that these people are, you know, strung out on drugs and, you know, they just are horrible people. A lot of what we're seeing is people are just being priced out, you know, or they have lost their job, or they don't have a job that pays well enough. And if they have a job that pays, you know, like a decent living, the person still cannot afford to pay all their utilities. They can't afford to pay rent on top of utilities and everything else that I just discussed. So again, we will be seeing this more often. I personally feel, and I've mentioned this in several other videos, that we will see more generational living. And I think that if at all possible, when people are able to do that, I think it's a great thing. I think it kind of helps everybody, you know, out in the family, especially with the rising costs of everything. And I know that's not, you know, always doable. Maybe the dwelling isn't big enough. Maybe, you know, people butt heads. But again, if at all possible, I think that is an excellent way to, you know, save money. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, you guys. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.